Get ready to blast off with a true space pioneer, hailing from the vibrant landscapes of Sierra Leone. Meet Abdul Sesay, a certified associate systems engineering professional, physicist, and satellite communications maestro. From teaching advanced physics and consulting at the Lebanese International School to leading the charge as national coordinator for Sierra Leone at the Moon Village Association and national point of contact for the Space Generation Advisory Council, Abdul is rewriting the stars. A 2022 African Space Leader Award winner, he's wowed global audiences as a keynote speaker at the Global Space Summit and led delegate teams at the Space Generation Fusion Forum. With med skills in Java, Python, Flutter, and MATLAB, and a vision to shape an inclusive space future, the system thinker and innovator is here to inspire you. Enjoy the podcast with Abdul. Hi, Abdul. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation and joining us today at Chiedza, CheAfrica.
Hi, Nyasha. Am I pronouncing your name properly?
Perfect, Nyasha, but you
Nyasha.
got it right.
All right.
Yes, that's okay. Abdul, tell me what drew your interest into physics and mathematics? It's not every day that we hear people who are so into physics and mathematics.
I think in high school, I found a lot of solace in physics. And in fact, I wasn't aware of my performance in physics until I was talking with a friend and he said, you're doing well in physics. And I said, yeah, but I want to be an engineer instead. Um, I didn't really think about that. And if somebody can tell me I'll major in physics at undergrad, I could have denied that. Yeah, but physics is interesting and extremely exciting to do.
Mhm. Yeah. And did you have a mentor who helped shape the way for you, guide you along the way?
So it's a sad one. Unfortunately, I had someone who I considered a mentor. He was doing this undergrad in mechanical engineering back then, and I was struggling with physics. But then he kept putting me down. And I said to myself one day, you know what? I don't care. If I want mentors, I'll just have them from the background. And so for physics, I started that journey alone after high school, reading books and exploring the universe. It's abstract, so it's very attractive to me. I don't have to deal with people, just me and my ideas alone the whole day. That's how it started. I didn't really
Wow.
have a mentor for physics.
Wow, wow. And were you back home in Sierra Leone at this time?
Yes,
So
I
you
was.
attended
Yeah.
you attended high school in Sierra Leone and your university as well.
Yes, correct.
That's nice. That's nice.
I did all of
And
that.
okay. And in terms of family support, are you first generation physicists or the
Yes,
other
yes.
people?
I'm first generation physics, first generation maths, first generation systems engineering. Um, and my parents, I can say it here that they were very, very patient with me.
Mhm.
Uh, I was destructive as a child. I don't know if most parents can have me at home, having to lock up every television, every tape recorder at home because I'm gonna loosen that up. Every generator, every car, every
Wow.
motorcycle, I would just open things up. And when I get tired of fixing, they don't work. I just leave them and run away. It's sad. I was a, it was a troublesome phase for my parents, but they endured that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they did endure that.
Wow. So what exactly is this systems engineer? What does it entail? If someone wants to maybe take up the profession, what is it exactly?
You want to understand how in a normal language how
Yes.
you can put you have a purpose. You put a couple of elements together to accomplish that purpose, and that is systems engineering. So whether it's enterprise systems like your businesses, whether it's space systems, you put together a couple of elements, including human beings, that will accomplish the mission. That is a space mission, or for a car, the purpose of transporting people. Different vehicles have specific purposes that they fulfill, right? And so the
Mm-hmm.
systems engineer job is to see how he puts together the the different elements, including the human beings that work on those systems, uh, and then look at the system from the conception stage. What happens during development phase? How will the stakeholders who are working on the system feel? And those who are investing in the system, how about those who will be maintaining the system? How will they feel about that system? And how about people who will be disposing the system? How do they feel about the system? Is it disposable? Um,
Mm-hmm.
when it interacts with people, what will be the outcome? And so those are the things you look at early on in the development phase. And so it's a new field, by the way. It has been existing subtly, but of recent times, it is taking prominence because of the level of complexity of systems that we deal with today in the world.
Wow, wow, wow. And your specialty is the space side of this and
Yes,
satellite.
exactly. So that's what I'm looking forward to. In class, it is a wild thing to do because in my class, we move from one project type, software systems to hardware systems, smart city systems, AI systems. We
Wow.
just we were like, they just crank us to do anything extreme until you have the mindset of a systems thinker, and then they leave you out there to go develop systems that you're interested in working on. In my case, I'm interested more in space systems. So yeah.
Okay, okay. And just I'm getting curious as you're talking about all this. I'm thinking about back in Africa, like
Mhm.
how at what stage are we at in these space programs? Are we making progress? Have we made progress? Are we there?
I think for most countries they're doing a lot of catching up, but the awareness is there. In my country, it's in its dark phase right now. The awareness is so low. People aren't really interested in space exploration and what it offers. It sounds exciting to them, but they think about the billions they can spend that they can use to fight hunger. Well, they don't really know that they can use space systems to fight hunger in a more efficient way.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
so, but other countries like Nigeria, the East African countries, Ghana, South African countries, they're so into space systems engineering, the space exploration that they're beginning to reap the benefits. Having satellites launched to space, you heard about a couple of countries that have launched satellites to space and are maintaining them there for a couple of years now. It's incredible how the landscape of space exploration in Africa is changing rapidly, extremely
Wow.
rapidly.
Wow. So for like our listeners who are maybe in high school and this is the path they want to pursue, what should they study?
I think primarily you should be interested. So again, the space industry has a wide field, just like in any other field. You have space economics. They look at what can we gain from an economic standpoint of space exploration, and then you have s- uh, space sciences like astrobiology and all of those sciences. They want to study the environment itself. You have the engineers, the physicists, all of those individuals. It starts primarily with your sciences, the STEM. If you start with STEM, you can go around any other field. It's easier. science, mathematics, engineering, and technology. If you start there, you can go around any field. You can go later into space law and still excel there because you have large opportunities. And if they do bring this the science thing and engineering thing in your classroom while studying space law, you have a foundational understanding of what's going on there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think we always encourage people to start with the STEM field at high school, and then to at university they can choose if they want to do economics and later do space economics or whatever law, and they later go into space law and like that.
Okay.
It's all right.
And how's the and the job market is how is
It's
it?
so I think one of the things that is fascinating about life in general from my standpoint, if you work really hard and you stand out, you have a huge market in the space industry that is opening up in Africa. So the mining sector, you may not see how it's connected to space, but it has a lot more to do with space than just digging up the ground like that. As the industry evolves, you see more people using space systems to analyze soils in areas where otherwise drones or even human beings have a hard time finding out. And they can map out the zones for mining and other areas. So you have incredibly large spectrum where people can go in and explore. And so there's a huge market for that. And what is the most important thing for me is what you become in studying about space systems or space exploration, the thinking that goes into working in those areas. You can leave that and go do your business and still excel.
Yes, yes, yes. Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing. Yeah. So, can you describe a key moment when curiosity drove you to take on a role of national point of contact for Sierra Leone? Um,
Yeah. So my friends, I used to post a lot about astronomy, stars, and we the other guys are doing engineering at the time. We used to talk about space stuff. I have one particular friend who was interested in space, Alimami Conte. He was very interested in space, and the other guy Isaac. So we together we were working on having a club. We called it the Moiba Jazz Space Club. It didn't work out for some strange reasons, so we weren't frustrated. He was working already as the national point of contact at Alemami for SGAC, and I was just there after that, doing my normal thing in astronomy and astrophysics, reading and posting. And he said, you know, we can work together and see how that goes. And I said, well, yeah, I don't mind. I didn't care about the wider space industry. I was just in my own world, explore what I love doing. I didn't know it
mhm.
was like a large field out there for Africans too. Like,
Yes.
so he asked me to apply. I applied and I was accepted, and that's where the journey started. Because it was a rough start, though, because you feel like you're not good enough. You don't have um,
Mhm.
the background that will make you stand out. But we fought. We fought really hard to get our niche in the space industry. We did fight to stand out, and it paid
Mhm.
off.
Wow, that's amazing. So you would also go to schools, do mentorship programs,
We
get
did a
into
lot
the
of that.
community. Wow, wow. And you also do a bit of robotics with young
Yes, yeah,
learners. Wow. And how is that coming along? I really want to get involved in that space, robotics, AI.
right.
Yes. Yes.
So I think you have what was happening and what is still happening in my country today is that once that wave started, you got a couple of other young people like Hawayuki who brought up the initiative for robotics. So every year they set up robotics competition, and our um, club that we a society that we created at university, the STED society, science, technology, engineering, art, and development society at Swabi College. Started collaborating with all of this because we have the human capacity. We have a lot of very talented young engineers studying, and they are curious. They want to do it for free. They're excited to go out there, build things, and also whatnot for free. So sometimes we just have to find a hall, find a couple of sponsors, and boom, people go into that. And they have kept that. A couple of months ago, they came to the US for a robotic competition, and they did it incredibly well. So I
Wow.
think it's beginning to gain a lot of traction in my country where people, even if they're not interested in space, they care about robotics, they care about technology, they care about science. So
Mhm.
I feel good, the direction the country is going right now.
Mhm. Mhm. And reflecting on your journey from academia to your current leadership roles, what advice would you offer to young people eager to make an impact in the space sector?
I think you have to take your career very seriously because the space industry is filled with talented people. So when they shut you out, don't feel like they have this way of writing letters. They say we found more people who are more talented or more capable. They have a way of
Yeah.
writing you emails that will shut you out. But
Mhm.
for most people, that's a weeding out point where most people
Mhm.
fall back and never rise. But you have to be persistent. You, if you come to the space industry because you want to look cool, you want to look smart, you're gonna run away in no time because you have insanely smart people in the space industry. They're just
Yeah.
smart and it's their nature. And so you have a lot of people to compete with if you want to compete. But if you just want to work on yourself, you decide to take yourself as a project, you develop your mindset for robustness and persistence, then you'll stand out in the space industry. I think this applies to every other industry out there.
That's amazing. And what are your long term goals? The next 5 years, are you going to space? What's the plan?
So most people were thinking I might think about going to space. Yes, I want to go to space. But right now we want to work on the technology to have men on the moon. Whether they're gonna be staying in dooms or not, but working on the technology to have men on the moon uh, and sustain them there will not just help us have men on the moon, but that the transferability of the technology to art can help us solve a lot of problems like climate change and other stuff. So in the meantime, I see myself like pursuing a PhD. I don't wanted to work right after graduation in December for like 8 months and pursue my PhD, and then um, in space systems engineering. And then what also I'm looking at is starting having my startup because I did a lot of product development um, at master's level, and the professors they are incredible in pushing us to think about products, whatever it's it can be designing subsystems for other space companies or other companies. You can be developing software components for other companies. There are a lot of possibilities. If you want to be employed, sure. If you want to go on to create a pathway for others to go, it is important, and that is the path I want to take.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much. So this is our part one. We'll
Okay,
definitely have another part two, maybe after graduation, and we revert back or something. But thank you so much for joining me today.
you're most welcome, and thank you for having me. Appreciate
Thank
it.
Okay, so we are launching what's known as Chiedza Rising Star Awards. What are we going to be doing? With the Chiedza Rising Awards, we're going to be awarding some scholarships, two $500 scholarships. For you to apply, you need to follow us on our social media platforms, YouTube or Spotify, but you need to at least follow us, and you need to we'll let you know all the criteria, but we want you to be able to let us know which of the episodes we've given you, maybe even reference 2 or 3 episodes that resonated with you, and let us know, because we also want to know that what we're doing is having an impact in your life. So you can reference that in your essay, or you can even do a video, something innovative, your essay, 1,000 words, just letting us know. So you should be between 14 and 25 years, based in Africa, living in Africa. You can even be in high school, interested in STEM, and you can use the funds towards your school fees, or if you're in uni, maybe you could pay for a semester, depending where you are. But yes, we're launching this scholarships. And the other part is we're going to have a mentorship program. So there are also 3 mentorship awards that will be awarded in the mentorship. For the mentorship side, perhaps you finished university or college, or your apprentice, and you want to be mentored, or you want to start a business. In that, you actually get access to mentors who can guide you and help pave the way. So this is something I'm really, really excited about. So August 1st, we'll go live. And then we'll show the details as to where you apply, how you apply. Really, really excited about this. Hoping this can be an annual thing that we do. So grateful to our sponsors for this, Elite Tank Academy courses. Be sure to check them out. I'll share their website as well. So if you need extra lessons, you're in high school, extra tutorials, you're a teen, you need some pre-teen or teen counseling or mentorship, or someone to walk the journey with you. Every week you do check-in sessions. They've got sessions for that. So excited about them coming on board as a sponsor to this incredible program. Really, really grateful for that. So yeah.